Traditional prepping has always focused on stockpiling for doomsday. But here's something surprising. 78% of new preppers are actually focused on sustainable living and environmental protection. It's completely transforming how we think about self-reliance.
That's fascinating because it really challenges the stereotype of the bunker building survivalist. How did this shift toward eco consciousness in prepping begin?
Well, it's actually a direct response to climate change and resource depletion. Studies show that about 65% of modern preppers cite environmental concerns as their primary motivation, not fear of societal collapse. They're creating what experts call regenerative systems, solutions that actually improve the environment while building resilience.
Hmm. Tell me more about these regenerative systems. What makes them different from traditional prepping approaches?
So here's what's really interesting. Traditional preppers might store 6 to 12 months of bottled water, creating plastic waste and a finite supply. Eco preppers instead install rainwater harvesting systems that can collect up to 600 gallons from just 1 inch of rainfall on an average roof. That's sustainable water independence.
Oh, wow. That's exactly the kind of practical solution I've been wondering about. What about energy systems?
This is where it gets really exciting. Recent data shows that a basic solar setup, we're talking about a 5 kilowatt system, can provide up to 75% of an average household's energy needs. And here's the kicker. These systems typically pay for themselves within 5 to 7 years.
That's incredible ROI. But what about people in apartments or smaller spaces?
Well, that's where vertical gardening comes in. Studies show you can grow up to 44 pounds of food annually on just 24 square feet of vertical space. Urban eco-preppers are getting really creative, using hydroponics, aquaponics, and even mushroom cultivation to maximize food production in tiny spaces.
Those numbers are mind-blowing. How are people managing to learn all these different skills?
Here's something fascinating. There's been a 300% increase in community skill-sharing networks over the last 5 years. These groups are like modern-day guilds, where people exchange knowledge about everything from solar installation to medicinal herb growing. And get this, participants report a 60% reduction in their monthly expenses after implementing these skills.
So it's not just about survival. There's a real economic benefit too?
Exactly right. The average eco-prepper reports saving around $3,800 annually through reduced utility bills, home food production, and waste reduction. But what's really interesting is how these systems connect. Like, using gray water from your sink can reduce water bills by 30%, while also supporting a food garden that produces about $2,000 worth of organic vegetables annually.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine these systems provide security during emergencies too?
That's right. During recent natural disasters, households with integrated eco-prepping systems were able to maintain power, water, and food production for an average of 15 days without external support. But here's what's really cool. These same systems reduce their carbon footprint by about 40% during normal times.
How are people getting started with all this? It sounds overwhelming.
So, the data shows most successful eco-preppers start with what experts call the rule of threes, focusing on 3 basic systems: water, energy, and food. They typically begin with a $500 to $1,000 investment in one area, then expand gradually over 2 to 3 years. The key is starting small but thinking systematically.
And what about the community aspect? How important is that?
This is fascinating. Research shows that eco-preppers who participate in community networks are 75% more likely to achieve their sustainability goals. They're creating these amazing local resilience hubs, sharing resources like tool libraries, seed banks, and knowledge bases.
Looking ahead, where do you see this movement going?
Well, current trends suggest eco-prepping will grow by about 200% over the next decade. But what's really exciting is how it's influencing mainstream sustainability practices. We're seeing these principles being adopted by urban planners, architects, and even corporations. It's becoming less about individual preparation and more about community resilience.
That's really hopeful. It's like we're seeing the future of sustainable living being built right now.
Exactly. And the data backs this up. Communities with strong eco-prepping networks showed 45% better recovery rates after natural disasters, while maintaining a 60% smaller environmental footprint. It's proving that we can build resilience without compromising our planet's future.